What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Showtime is Blizzard King with King's Critiques, and we're here for Dan to Dan. Catching up one episode at a time, a little bit of pain, but next week, hopefully, things will be able to be better, and I'll be able to just bash stuff out. But that being said, let's get into this episode, which I don't quite remember what happened last time, other than the throwdown between Ken and Gigi. You know, Momo is made, and all that kind of stuff happened in the last couple of episodes, so honestly, I do wish I could learn the title of the episode better, because the art of being attractive is a thing I definitely need to learn, because, listen, other than physical attraction, which is a thing I'm long far past, having spiritual attraction would be a very good lesson to be able to learn, since that is very difficult. But I don't remember much for a recap other than that, so we're going to get to the usual caveats of number one. Be anything that is in your mind to drop a comment about is highly encouraged to do so, because it's good for the algorithm, free, good for my soul, and all that stuff, as is. It's highly appreciated for the same reasons. Let the video run through when we do the watch time, hit the like button, subscribe, and all that good stuff. That said, let's get to it. Is he really still having a panic attack about saying hello to Momo, who pretty much openly, asked for affection the other episode? Pretty much openly was pushing towards the desire of being his girlfriend, which, look at that face. Who doesn't want to date that face? Okay, but in all seriousness, he's the second best boyfriend of the season, outside probably, the other generic rom-coms we have going on, because there's at least two others going on right now that are like a legit one-on-one kind of thing, and maybe those guys are pretty good boyfriends too, but like from the stuff I'm watching, him and Gojo are the best, and that's saying something. And she's waiting for him while he's fucking around. Yeah, now she's starting to think of it as a little bit more, and you're still kind of being a guy about it. Nah, fam, it's you she's waiting for. He is not going to ignore her with how much they've been through. That is a look of annoyance. Okay, ignore him. Ken's very slow to the uptake. Like, they're very close, at least friend-wise, and he still thinks she's not waiting intentionally for him. Especially after the way they've held hands a minimum of twice recently, and she was begging for the hug before Ira cucked her. Which, that's kind of like Ira's specialty, is cucking Momo. Uncalled for. I don't know who did it, but so uncalled for. Are they really missing? How are they missing each other? They're literally 5 feet apart. Guys, are you okay? Like, are you good? You need to talk to her, because you're literally bypassing each other every time. Actually, wait, didn't they do this in the same episode where they kissed accidentally, where they kept looking for each other but missing over and over and over and over again? No, you're both just idiots and keep missing each other. Excuse me if you heard that. Are we really flashing back to the fucking accidental kiss thing again? But with the fat kid involved? Because, like, this is the same fucking thing that happened that episode. Okay. Turbo Granny needs to smack these kids over the head with a bat or something, because they just are so fucking out of it. Okay, like, there's reasonable self-loathing, like, I have reasons to be self-loathing, and then there's Ken, who has an 8 as a friend who definitely wants to be more, a 10 as his mentor, not only in fighting and spiritual pressure, but also maybe other shit eventually. I've seen some content, you never know. Some people have some crazy fan theories, which, listen, I could totally see Psycho making some pushes for him to get with Momo better. Like, you have a 6 also into you, and, like, Momo keeps pushing her away, so it's clear that Momo doesn't want her to have you, so what else would that mean? Like, shit, man. You're probably the luckiest nerd in anime. I'm not gonna say in reality, because, like, there are lots of nerds that got rich and were able to afford hot wives, so can't really say that much, but anime-wise, definitely the luckiest nerd to exist. It's just terrible how the fucking just casual that old cartoon style music stops whenever they end up on him. Like, damn, is he such a buzzkill that they gotta play him like that? I mean, granted, yeah, he's that kind of character who's either a complete asshole or might end up to be Ken's, like, second best friend. Are we gonna get... Oh, they're turning in that... Are they gonna get another accidental kiss? Or even worse, is the fat kid gonna get in the way and they're gonna accidentally, kiss either side of him? Because that'd be awkward as hell. Oh, hey, it happened again. Look at that. And this time they all saw it! Not like last time where it just kind of happened. This time they all saw it. Both of Momo's friends and the random kid who's been kind of fucking stalking them. Okay, maybe not stalking them, but he's been definitely looking for one of them. So, like, I kind of have a feeling the whole situation was just replaying like it was that one time. Deja vu style, even. Actually, the shock reaction from her friends probably is the best thumbnail I'm gonna get, I'm not gonna lie. Well, the fat kid really knows more about being socially awkward than Ken does, huh? Pretty good gunpla. He's doing all this, meanwhile the others in the class are probably like, what the fuck is he doing? You trying to get Okarun's attention? Or is he just kind of being weird? Yeah, no, he just gave Ken a look. I think Ken's very much confused. So maybe he just does want to be Ken's friend and not have it be weird, but it's getting pretty weird. Which, again, is very understandable, because just being socially awkward, you do just, like, whatever you can to trigger somebody's acknowledgement of you, because you don't know how... Let me try that again. You don't know how to say shit yourself. And, like, I'm kind of in that fashion. But also, usually the people who don't know how to handle properly are drunk people. Listen, I was at a concert last night, and, like, the very rare time somebody approaches me, it usually happens when they're drunk. And let me tell you, it wasn't even during the concert, but post-concert, I had quite the conversation with a drunk guy, and he was very friendly. He was a very cool guy. I'm not going to diminish him that at all. He was a very cool guy. But he was very noticeably drunk, and, like, when you can't really have a proper conversation other than catching every other word someone says, it's just like, yeah, cool. So, like, hopefully if I run into him again next year during concert season, maybe it's when he's a little bit more sober and, like, comprehensible. Damn, he feels great shame. It is time to take 1,000 lashes for your shame. Enemy, huh? Actually, weirdly, he does look kind of like one of those alien creatures. That seems like a weird way to phrase the question, why are you talking to me? But also very much understandable, because, I don't know, if I'm going to randomly talk to a person, it probably wouldn't be a guy as my first choice. What I said a moment ago withstanding, because listen, if somebody talks to me, I'm not going to ignore them. That's rude, to the best of my ability. I will say there might have been... Honestly, maybe why the past 16 years of my life are shitty is because of, like, the one person I ignored one time at the mall because of, well... reasons, but listen, also, if you have the biggest scumbag you've ever known convince a woman to pity talk to you, it's probably not worth your time anyway, because the biggest scumbag you've ever known probably said something to convince her that probably isn't true. But hey, by some miracle, if you're that woman that scumbag convinced to talk to me one time and I ignored you, I apologize. I do. It just kind of a way of things and just how it went. And honestly, might be a high key regret now, because who knows, maybe if I'd actually, like, took the time to converse instead of, like, deaf earing the situation, I don't know, maybe my confidence would be bigger right now, but unfortunately, that's not how life goes. Well, do you want the real reason or do you want a fake reason? Because I can tell you a fake reason of maybe they're both into certain types of nerds. If you want the real reason, I might have to kick your ass later. Listen, saying you're not popular with pretty girls probably isn't a true statement nor a lie. Because while you do have two basically in the palm of your hand, You also are kind of starting to be friends with Momo's friends, who also aren't too bad looking. Especially after the artist changed the Gyoru one to not be. Ugh. Because listen, nothing is wrong with the Gyoru girl as a whole. The makeup last season was just terrifying. And, like, that's not just me saying shit. Listen, I've seen girls in real life try that kind of crazy makeup style. It's terrifying. Most guys are not into that. Some women are probably not into that. Just, you don't need all that fucking. It's very hard of how I want to put this. Like, clown makeup, stereotypical makeup. These are things you don't need to be attractive. Like, if y'all want makeup, that's fine. Just don't excessivize it. It's not always needed. Like, there are a lot of pretty girls that use a lot of makeup that are still very well attractive without the makeup. And then, yes, there are times where the makeup helps. Like, take everyone's fucking favorite goth mommy of modern day that everybody is aware of, whether they're a fan of wrestling or not, in Rhea Ripley. You know, she's gorgeous without makeup, but the makeup does something for her. You know, there's a lot of times you go out in public and you see women with makeup where you're like, oh god, that is a lot. There's a lot of time you see celebrities with a lot of makeup that's unnecessary. Matter of fact, same reflection for the wrestling side of things. You know, Tiffany Stratton, we've seen her with and without makeup. And appreciate you nowadays, Tiff. But you do kind of hold that kind of bimbo mode when you have makeup. But otherwise, gorgeous. So, like, it just, yeah, makeup is more of a detriment in most of the cases nowadays. And that's just how it do be. I know this all started because of a conversation about fucking how the author or how the artist drew a character. But my point stands for that reason. Okay, listen. This is a very understandable reaction from this dude. Like, you just come in hearing Momo scream something about Ken's family jewels, and he's immediately so confused. See, that's probably the smartest thing this dude has said the whole time. Okay, and I've said promising things for Ken to be, good boyfriend material, even though he's kind of still an oddball about the situation. But, like, in similar like, honestly, regardless of what the top ships of the week say, I kind of think that, of course, I gotta be based in say Marin Gojo is at the top regardless, but Ken and Momo, yeah, regardless, take second place for me of the things I'm watching. Like, there's all of the straight ships, mind you, of the straight ships. Because there's a bunch of Yuri ships and the stuff I'm watching that obviously kind of have their own special place in my heart. But as far as, like, official / straight couples, yeah, those two are at my top. Because, honestly, she is a really good spirit now. Like, the only one she's not going to be nice with is Ira, because, well, Ira's still a cunt. she is still just the worst kind of human being. And they're just questionable face to her genuine purity in the situation. So, who are they questioning? Are they trying to talk shit to Momo? Listen, nerd! It's between classes. We can do what we want. Fuck you. Watch them not talking to Momo, but talking to the fat kid. Okay, they were talking to Momo based on the serious look on their face. Look at the one in back, though. She's ready to fucking go. Like, if they tried arguing with the class representative, like, that bitch in back was ready to fight. Like, she looks scrappy. You know, you try to say something and she... Uh-oh. The scrappy one might have to jump on Momo. Meanwhile, the fat kid's just running around in back like, what is happening? I mean, I don't think he would openly tell another woman she's an idiot even if you told him to. He's way too meek for that. But also, listen, if it ever did by some miracle happen, I would not mind a girlfriend of these vibes either, be the dominant one. Because, listen, there's a bunch of memes out there that mention this kind of thing. A lot of guys now are submissive. And, like, we're very good people when we're submissive. But that also means we probably won't talk to people in power for this or that reason. Whether it be out of fear or fear. Because, like, high key, I don't talk to people, not fully because I don't want to, but because if they say the wrong thing, it will get heated very fast. And then I might get kicked out of somewhere very fast. Yeah, that literally seems like something that one alien would have said. Like, maybe he is an alien, high key. That reaction perfectly encapsulates everything I feel about this random dude interfering in the whole situation. Okay, he did kind of kill the vibe of how serious it was. So honestly, that's not a bad way to do things either. Like, if you want to be the goofy guy, that's perfectly fine. You know, be the one who sees a fight starting and just say the most off-the-wall shit. As long as you're sure you're not going to get your ass beat because of it. Because if you say the most off-the-wall shit during an argument at, like, a bar or something, you might just get your ass kicked. Now, see, like, he doesn't mind what's going on because he's weirdly popular now. Again, a 6, an 8, and a 10 in his life. And, you know, even, you know, a 5, possibly higher, talking to him to try and defend him from Momo's annoyances, even though she wasn't doing anything of the sort. And a guy who's incredibly jealous of all of it. Which, honestly, relatable, square dude. Relatable. Also, which is less of an insult? Because, like, I don't just keep calling him the fat kid might seem like an insult, but listen, he's the fattest kid in the show, so I do apologize if you take offense to that comment, but also he kind of is. I could call him squarehead, but I feel like that would also be even more insulting. No, that was quite the reaction for her agreeing with your thought process. Well, you're not fully wrong, because a lot of these aliens and demons have been very insane. Yeah, that's a way to put it. No, but, like, I kind of get his vibe, too, because, like, even outside the actual situation happening, you know, if a hot guy says something very, like, off the wall or lewd or erotic, a lot of people just kind of pass it off because he's attractive. But, like, most people say it and they're going to get the shit kicked out of them. So, like, I do get where he's coming from with the thought process. But also, he has no clue about the context. Okay, but also, a very valid desire. You have been spotted. Do you live in this apartment complex? Or are you stalking them? Because, I don't know, keep in mind, kids, don't stalk people. That's weird, creepy, and very well could get you arrested if you get spotted. So, like, don't stalk anyone for any reason. Doesn't matter if they're your friend, girlfriend, or, okay, well, correction. Stalking your girlfriend is fine to a point if you think she's cheating on you. I will actually endorse that because, listen, the rate of unfaithful relationships has gone up in the past 15 years, I'm pretty sure. And I've had at least one experience I can confirm with an unfaithful relationship back when I used to have those. So, like, think about that. Me only having 5 girlfriends of a serious fashion in my life, and one of them having cheated on me. So that means if one cheating on me out of 5 is a 1-5 chance, if that ratio has gone up in general in 15 years or so, well, that means that, I don't know, like 10 out of 50 girls could be cheating. Hashtag quick maths. And he just got dragged into their weird shit by floating. Domain expansion. Fat kid arrow. Yeah, you wish. It's not going to be quite as accidental as her and Ken was twice now. And Ken stops him right in his path. But now that means he kind of has to, like, be informed about the situation, and at least now he'll be aware of why Momo and Ira are so into him. Damn, cost him a bloody nose. Oh, hey, his testicle. Nintendo's gonna sue somebody. Yeah, it is kind of funny that she just said spicy talk is unacceptable, and then she talked about Ken's family jewels flying up the stairs. Like, maybe they'll explain it to you fully after the fact, my guy. Maybe. Maybe. Unless you pass out. Okay, Right now, we basically have a Dragon Ball Z situation going on where they're being beaten up by a ball. Like, remember when Vegeta got turned into the candy by Boo? That's basically what's happening right now, but they're beating the shit out of Ken. Well, that didn't go over as planned. You tried to Spider-Man swing in, and you got knocked off your hands. And the impact was so strong, Ken turned back. To be fair, her elbow is directly in your sternum. Actually, wait. Watch the fat kid actually be a plot device and can help them in this situation. No. She's got a point, though. Like, the fact that thing is invisible and they can't fight it normally is complete bullshit. And the fat kid. Oh, he's going down too. Please don't. I love how he's so fucking ready to go against this thing, and he... Watch him actually be able to see... Like, his glasses actually are somehow able to see this thing. Never mind. Oh. Yo. Okay, well, that was not a smart way to put things, but, like, him putting it this way might have actually been intelligent. Wait. It actually looked kind of worried when he mentioned something about that technology. Is he actually close to accurate? Wow. Anyone who lives in that building is going to have to pay for home insurance. This motherfucker ringing the doorbell! Why does it look kind of like a dog? A mole? Maybe a mole. I think Full Throttle was a little unnecessary for that. So where'd your testicle go, bro? You know? Good job. Okay, you know what? Not the kind of plot device I thought he'd be, but congratulations, big guy. So they're staring down at the damage. He hasn't moved, at least. A kaiju? Not going to answer the door. Guess that explains why it looks kind of like a dog or a lizard. Oh, that's not good. It's growing. He's getting kicked in the ass and he's happy about it. Yeah, that's pretty based. Oh no. It's big. Yeah, that's, not good. And that is a very understandable reaction. Godzilla! So, that's gonna be interesting. Like, the ball thief seemed like some kind of cowardly lizard dog-like creature and just turned into fucking Godzilla. How are they going to combat that one? They might have to call some friends. Or is that going to be like their competition leading up to the end of the season? Because, actually, how far behind am I? I think I'm still like 2 episodes behind, so maybe not end of the season fight, because, yeah. So, which direction is this going to go? Because obviously they're going to need some help. So, are they going to have to try to call Gigi or Ira? Or is the fat kid going to join their group by using the power on Ken's balls or something? I know that sounds very weird, but it's also, like, logical to how the show goes. Let me know your thoughts on that, because I thought I was behind on Kaiju number 8. But, yeah, let me know your thoughts on that stuff, how you think the next episode's going to go, if you think it's going to drag to the end of the season, or whatever it might be. Because, honestly, this is interesting, for sure. They follow a lead on one of Ken's nuts, and then deal with a kaiju. And a random pervert, who is also a stalker. That guy's like one bad move from a rap sheet 10 miles wide. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on all that in the comment section, as well as, of course, about any other shows, movies, etc. you should check out this season, next season, or channel. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the gaming channel, ring both bells like Facebook, follow Twitter, Blue Sky, keep updated with things, TikTok, Patreon, get the full end visuals and audio of the stuff I upload here, and, well, starting in October. Don't forget to follow Twitch, subscribe for benefits, can do so Twitch Prime for free, helps me out immensely for the temporary, this for the long term, of course. Check out the playlist here, let run through conversations with the stuff within whatever. Check out the video recommended to you by YouTube here, or if you're watching the smaller version, the bigger version, just see what you missed. I really do need to get on editing those, because I'm almost 2 full anime seasons worth of those to edit, so yikes. Till next time, though, and the Blaze King with King's Critique, out, ta-ta for now, peace.